Shalom and Bruchim Habayim. My name is Rabbi Yitzchak Shapira, and I'm your host for Cheezok Emunah, that literally means strengthening of the faith, as we go through another lesson in revealing who is the Jewish Messiah and what he came to do, and specifically what the Bible says about the face and the attributes of the Jewish Messiah. We received the following question: how can you make the claim that Yeshua of Nazareth is the Son of God, where the Torah clearly states that Israel is the Son of God? If you go in the street today and you would ask the question, who is the Son of God? Most Jewish people tell you Israel is. And you know what? They are absolutely correct. Let us look at a few scriptures as we try to find out that the true identity of who the Son of God is. In Exodus, the 4th chapter, 22 verses, it says this: "And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, Thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, my firstborn." I want us to pay attention to two important things from Exodus 4:22. Number one, Israel is called Beni, and Israel, which means son. And number two, Israel also called Bechori, which means my firstborn, come from the Hebrew word Bechor, or firstborn. It's very clear on this verse who is God's son. It is Israel. Hosea 11:1 even go further and says this: when Israel was a child, and it uses here the word Na'ar, N-A-H-A-R, Na'ar. When Israel was a child, then I loved him. And out of Egypt I called my son. In the New Covenant, amazingly, in the book of Matthew, this exact same verse is quoted, but it's applied not to Israel, but to the Messiah, when we read the words, where he stayed until death in Herod, that's King Horus, and so was fulfilled with the Lord had says through the prophet, out of Egypt I called my son. Most anti-missionary would like to lead us to believe that Matthew somehow misquoted Hosea 11:1 and Exodus 4:22. But friends, I would like to tell you today the truth could not be any further from that. As a matter of fact, as we're going to see today, it is Matthew who quoted a midrashim, or sermons, or a collection of thought that applied the son, or here in the case of Hosea 11:1, it's the nar, it's the lad, to the Messiah. This is a very important word, the word lad or nar in Hebrew. As a matter of fact, the rabbis connected between this term from Exodus 4:22, this term Bechor, or firstborn, to Psalm 89, verse 27. Let's turn there very quickly and look what it says. It says I'll start at verse 27. It says, "He shall call unto me, thou art my Father, my God, and the rock of my salvation. Eli v'tzur yesherti." And then listen to verse 28. It says, "I will appoint him Bechor," which is the word firstborn, the same exact term that is used in Exodus 4:22, "the highest of kings of the earth." So the term that we need to be mindful of is the term Elyon. The word Elyon is never referred to somebody that is earthly, but it's really referred to somebody that is heavenly. If somebody would argue that this verse speaks of Israel, first of all, he will reject most of the thoughts of the sages who said that this verse speaks of the Messiah, who is called the firstborn, just like Israel was called firstborn. But secondly, he will reject the idea, because we must reject this idea, because the term Elyon is talking about the one from above. Yeshua says this. He says, "I am from above. I'm the Elyon. I'm the Elyon. You're from below." As a matter of fact, the job of the Messiah, according to Jewish thought, is to connect the world from above to the world from below, and he's the master connector. That's the idea of the Messiah, the Mashiach, the connecting heaven and earth. And here it says that the one that's called a firstborn is Elyon. Now, on one level, it's true. Israel, who the one to introduce the nations to the Torah, connected God of Israel to the nation. But in this case, He's calling Elyon lemalchei aretz. He is the one from above to the kings. He will be above all the kings. Israel is not a king. This verse cannot apply to Israel. And matter of fact, we continue to go 2 verses further, and it says, "V'samti le'ed zir'o v'kis'o ki yemei shamayim." His seed also will I make to endure forever, and his throne as the days of heavens. One cannot argue that the seed of the Jewish people has been from the beginning of time. The word here in Hebrew, le'olam, la'ad, the word la'ad, is eternal. The Jewish people seed start with Avraham Avinu, with Abraham. He called the first Jewish person. That is a very long time, but it's not eternal. Therefore, we must reject this claim. In verse 37, it's repeated. It says, his seed is heavenly, because his seed shall endure forever, and his throne is the sun before him. This idea about the throne is a very important idea as well. In Daniel chapter 7, verse 13 and 14, we read, actually, if you go to Daniel 7:9, it's where will be a good place for you to start. And in Daniel 7:9, we read about 2 thrones in heaven. In the Talmud in Chagiga, we read an interesting discussion between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yossi. And in this discussion, Rabbi Akiva tell Rabbi Yossi that there are 2 thrones in heaven. One for God and one for the Messiah. Rabbi Yossi rejected the idea, but the idea was present there. There were 2 crowns, there were 2 thrones set up. In Psalm 110, according to Jewish understanding, it is the Messiah who sits to the right hand of the Father. And to his left, according to the scripture, is Abraham. It's interesting. God is a jealous God. Since when God shares his glory and his throne with anybody except himself? He said, I will not share, I will not divide my glory. All the kavod and glory is given unto me. The point is clear. The one that is banned here, the one is called the lad, the nar, he has the authority of his father. As a matter of fact, to remove all doubt whether or not Matthew misquoted or misunderstood Hosea 11:1, we read this by the Ramchal, Rabbi Moshe Chaim Lotzato, one of the greatest sages of our time. He says that simply and clearly, Hosea 11:1. He says, when Israel was a child, then I loved him. This is the Messiah. Period. There is no room to negotiate. It is the Messiah of Israel. As a matter of fact, there's a great secret even in the word Na'ar, the lad, the son. The word Na'ar here in this case, the word Na'ar stands for, it's a 3 Hebrew letter, Nun, Ayin, Resh, which literally means Rachem al nachlatecha, which means have mercy upon your inheritance. Who is the inheritance? The inheritance is Israel. And according to Jewish understanding, not only that the lad is the Messiah, he is the Lord of mercy. He is the one that will bring a mercy. He is the one that decides whether or not Israel will receive mercy or not receive mercy. Ask yourself a question. Since when did Israel being justified? Since anything except their belief in God and God alone. The implications are clear. It is the Messiah of Israel who is called the lad, is the son, is the one that holds the key of life, as Yeshua says. Whoever is thirsty, come to me and have life, drink. V'shavtem mayim besason mimaynei, Yeshua, come and draw water from the wells of the salvation. The point is clear. The Na'ar is the one that holds mercies in his hand. The point is that Matthew not only did not misquote Hosea 11:1, but he came and gave the real meaning beyond this amazing and beautiful verse.